That was Naun Yug, a Dogri song that came out 3 months ago. Guys can check it out on YouTube. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. And I would like to discuss Dogra identity today, which I find fascinating because, as you know, the recent tensions in the Middle East have also flared up huge discussions around identity in other places of the world, including Jammu and Kashmir. So this history investigation is dedicated to those people. So this is like based on my anthropological plus historical investigations of the Dogra people of Jammu in India. So as a historian, since 2017, I've been reading stuff about Kashmir and their struggle for sovereignty. And in contrast, like the Kashmiri people seem to be a very real category, and the Dogra people, in contrast, who share the space of Jammu and Kashmir, are not so well represented. And partly, I think, is because of this British colonial legacy in which tribal marginality was promoted by the British to justify their rule in South Asia. So if you're a tribe, then you can just submit to British authority easily, compared to like if you're a bigger nation, then it's like more problematic for people to claim authority over you. So this goes into the whole Tibetan issue as well. And so it's more of a philosophical investigation for me. Like, why are some people considered indigenous, whereas other people are considered a nation? And I think colonialism has a lot to do with it. It's like, if your colonial masters decide that you're indigenous, then you're indigenous, right? And if you're Chinese, then you're not indigenous. Like, that's just how, at least in America, things were in the 1800s. And in Jammu in the 1800s, I actually did this whole translation of an academic article about the borders. And then today I found out there was actually a Sino-Sikh war between the Dogras of Sikh Maharaja command and the Qing Tibetan side. So they fought in Ladakh. And to this day, people are still fighting in that region. It's called the Sino-Indian conflicts. And it's fascinating because the Dogra people are just kind of like erased in this process of nation state competition. Because although they are Indian, right, by state, they don't really identify with the majority of Bahujan politics, for example, because they're not Bahujans. They have a special administrative district called Jammu and Kashmir. And they're also not Adivasi because in India, even though there is a term for indigenous people called Adivasis evoke this more like, I guess, darker skinned people. If you Google it, like Dogras are like light skinned like me, and then Adivasis are kind of darker in the popular imagination as well as like political representation. So then today, after the British left, indigenous people are considered a separate group than Dogra. So even though Dogra people would like to claim that they are indigenous to Jammu, the area, they cannot use the popular language for political mobilization. So those were my thoughts on Dogras in terms of the philosophy. And then my own personal journey of learning about Dogra was like, okay, I knew there was a Maharaja first because he was like kind of besties with Jawaharlal Nehru, who I'm a big fangirl of. And Jawaharlal Nehru was from Kashmir, but he does have like very close pictures, portrayals of him with the former Dogra Maharaja. And so I knew there was a category of rulers as Dogras, but I didn't know like who the subjects were. I didn't know that the subjects were considered Dogri until very recently when I was listening to a lot of the new YouTube songs as well as social media representations. And yesterday I was also watching an interview with an archaeologist of Dogra descent, and he was really promoting for this idea that like there is a Pahari identity that is fluid and people migrated to the Jammu area. It's not just set in stone. This is the guy, Kirpal Singh. He was a former curator. You guys can watch it on YouTube. He's wearing like a Pahari hat. These were my notes about the whole border drawing. You can see there's the Captain Cunningham. He did like a lot of border investigations. And I once asked this Sikh person I met in Rishikesh, I was like, why is there a Dogra state? According to this Sikh person's understanding, Dogras gained their sovereignty under Maharaja Ranjit Singh and the Sikh Empire not through their own political strength, but because they colluded with the British colonial people. I finally have the opportunity to fact check what he was saying, and yeah, it is a predominant opinion among a lot of Sikhs and non-Sikhs of Punjab. And there are also historians who contest this opinion. And I'll just share a bit from this blogger, an overseas Sikh person who lives in the US. So buckle up because there's a lot of names.
A school of Punjab historians condemns Jammu Raja's conduct on siding with the British against the Sikhs as perfidious and brand him as traitor. The historians supporting this school of thought include Jagmohan Mahajan, Ganda Singh, and Khushwant Singh. This conclusion is disputed by historians such as K.M. Panikar, Gawash Lal Kaul, P.N.K. Bamzai, Salig Ram Kaul, and Muhammad Aslam Khan. These historians acknowledge that his choice to not join the Sikhs against the British was based on self-preservation and not treason. They also argue that Gulab Singh favored the Sikhs in negotiating the terms of Bairowal Treaty. This is from malicethoughts.blogspot.com. And as you all know, Shubh, the famous Punjabi Sikh rapper, has been cancelled by India, unfortunately. I was happy to see that his show in London and Birmingham, I think, went well. Unfortunately, nowadays, politics is interfering with music, and we musicians / creators / independent historians need freedom of speech. So I was really disappointed when I saw that Shubh was denied his freedom of speech. And so here's my small contribution to this blogosphere, videosphere, historiosphere, globosphere of discussions and debates. Thanks so much for watching my video on Dogra people of Jammu and Kashmir. Hope to see you next time. Bye.